Let's take a look at some different subtraction strategies we can use to solve the problem 54 minus 28. I can either choose to count back from 54, or I can choose to start at 28 and count up until I get to 54. The first strategy that we'll use is counting back. We cannot split this number up into tens and ones like we do with addition. So we're going to keep the number 54 whole, and we're going to subtract 28, but we're going to subtract it in parts. So I'm going to start with 54 and draw a number line to help me visualize where I am hopping backwards. So I'm going to hop backwards 20 first. 10, 20. 54 minus 10 is 44. 44 minus 10 is 34. I'm not finished because I've only subtracted 20, so now I need to subtract the other part, which is 8. I can subtract it in 8 small hops, or I can chunk it. I'm going to chunk it into 4 and 4. So I'm going to subtract 4, which gives me the answer of 30, and then 4 more, which makes me land on 26. So my answer is 26. Another way to do this same strategy of counting back without a number line is to keep the same number like we did before, 54, and subtract this 28 in parts, but only using numbers. So I'm going to subtract the 20 first. And I know that if I'm subtracting a multiple of 10, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and so on, that my ones place is not going to change. So 54 minus 20 is 34. I'm not finished because I have to subtract the other part of the number, which is 8. So 34 minus 8. If I can't figure that out, I can count backwards by ones. 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. And my answer is 26. Using both strategies, I got the same answer, and I counted back. But one I used a number line, and the other I just used numbers. If you want to count up or count on, I can take the same problem, 54 minus 28, excuse me, and instead of starting with the 54, this time I'm going to start with the 28. So I'm going to start at 28, and I'm going to go forwards until I get to 54. So 38, 48. I can't go another 10, I will be too far. So 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. If you're using this strategy, you have to remember where the answer is. The answer is not what I landed on this time. The answer is how many hops I took. So if I add these hops up, 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, that is my answer. So 26 would go right here. Usually you would want to use the counting up strategy when you don't have as much distance between the two numbers. So usually it's best to count back, but sometimes kids like to count up so they are adding instead of really subtracting. So those are our strategies for subtracting two-digit numbers.